What's good, good people? This is another episode of Boy the Boss. If you've been rocking with me for a little minute, just now getting started with the YouTube page, please subscribe to the link below, man. Please subscribe to the page, man. Today, I had a wonderful, wonderful day today. I went to Hussey Middle School in Dallas, Texas, man, and I was principal for a day today. So that's why you see this suit and this tie and this button down and this and this and this. But that's not what we're about to talk about today. What we're about to talk about today is being the example that you wish you had when you were a boy. That is what we're going to talk about today. One of the keys, man, from being Boy the Boss, man, you have to actually pour into the community that you come from. I think a lot of times us as successful men, we leave our communities because we know that, there's no opportunities there. We think that it's too dangerous because now we're at a status now to where everything as far as monetary gains, it is of value, and we don't want anybody to take that from us. Some of us, we leave because we really wasn't, we wasn't cool as far as being popular in school, and people talk to us all crazy and talk to us wrong. So now we don't even want to, be a part of that community because everything with that community was bad for us growing up. As for me, I can't speak for them. As for me, I love my community. I love all of Dallas. You hear what I'm saying? I am a Dallas kid, Triple D that. I come from Pleasant Grove. My family from South Dallas. I went to school in Oak Cliff. So I everywhere around Dallas, man, I'm good. From North Dallas, South Dallas, East Dallas, West Dallas, everything, I'm good, right? And I see the need for having examples because when I was going to school, if you did not have your father in the household, your examples of successful men probably was slim to none, right? And what I mean slim to none is the people that you saw being successful, the people that you saw getting money, necessarily probably wasn't getting money the right way. And what I mean by that is it could land you in jail for a very long time and take you out these streets, and you wouldn't be able to feed your family. You wouldn't be able to do any of those things because you're going to have to serve some type of jail time for what you're doing. But now, being on the other side of that and actually being successful in a legitimate way, you can now go back to your community and give that positive role model or that positive outlook that you wish somebody would have had for you when you didn't have it. So that is probably one of the biggest keys. Like when you become a boss, when you become a person of status, that you say to yourself, man, what can I do to impact my community? Because that's real success. The success is not the money. The money part of it, you're going to get money as you get older. For most men, we don't start making money until we get into our 40s. You know what I'm saying? Mid 40s at that. That's when we make the most money of all time in our lifetime, right? So the older as men get, we make more money. But if you making money in your youth and you're seeing that you still have cliche with the younger generation and you still know what they're talking about, what they're going through, like you're not out of touch on anything because you're young enough to understand the difference of what they're going through and old enough to understand priorities, responsibilities, and things of that nature. Be a role model in your community where you come from. The more of us they see, the better. The more times we can reach out and talk to them and expose them to different things that they can expose themselves to, we are winning. We are building up the next generation. That's one of the keys from going from boy to boss, man. Are you building up your generation, the next generation, sorry. Or are you building up the next generation? What are you doing in the neighborhood that you come from? And even if you didn't come from that neighborhood, right, and you're working in a economic lower poverty neighborhood, what are you doing there? We criticize and we talk about what we don't have as African American men and what we're not doing and what opportunities we do not have and the lack of income we are not doing, and other races of men and their family are coming into our communities and they are owning stuff, right? So not only are they owning stuff, they are not giving back to the community that most or majority of our families or our kin people or whoever stays in. So what does that mean? That means we as men, black men specifically, have to be able to go back into our communities and take it back. And when I mean take it back, I mean be a good role model. You don't even have to make a whole lot of, you don't even have to make money to be a good role model in your community. You ain't got to be a person that make all this money to be a good person in your community. Now, most of us, we do it by giving back to sports, right? With football coaches, basketball coaches, track coaches. That's one of the ways that you can do it. But everybody don't want to coach football. And the way Pee Wee sports going in Dallas, Texas right now, I don't think I want to do that right now. I'd rather go to the schools and do stuff. I'd rather just get a group of boys and we just sit down and we just talk about what they're going through and what are their expectations, what are their goals, what do they value, what do they see as success. Like, I'd rather do that. I have kids that I've mentored, they're in college now, right? So we talking about grown folk stuff now. Like, we're talking about, like, what career path do you think you want to be on? How much money does that career path make? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years with that career path? Can you take care of a family with that career path? Now we get into the nitty gritty stuff now, but for the younger generation, it's just a thought, an idea, something different that they never thought about other than rapping and sports. If you're a successful male, especially a black male, you have some type of responsibility, whether you know it or not, to give something back to the next generation of young men behind you. That's how you keep the cycle going. Because if not, you already know the cycle that they're in, and you're okay with that. You're okay with that. And you have the chance now to change you. You have the chance now to be that role model that you never had. Right? So when you're thinking about it, man, and you're going from transitioning to boy to boss, one of those main things about doing that is, man, be the role model that you never had. Okay? Be the role model that you never have. Give back. You can't just keep taking and never give back. Try to own something in a community and pour back into it that way. It's not all about the bread. It's not all about the money. It's not all about the bag. It's about the time and what type of resources that you have and connections and networking that you have to help other kids, man. That's what it's about. So that's another phase of going from boy to boss.